Welcome VG music fans to VGBoombox. This is Bobby, and in today's tutorial we're going to be looking at the piano progression for the Ninja Gaiden song Farewell. That video is the official first video of my new channel, so it's only fitting that it will be the first tutorial as well. And since this is my first tutorial, I'm also going to use this opportunity to thank you for visiting the channel and to ask you to subscribe and check back often, because I have lots more great songs to produce and post, and I don't want you to miss any of the new content. Also, if you enjoy tutorials such as this one, be sure to visit my Patreon page at www.patreon.com/VGBoombox, where members have access to exclusive content as well as the privilege to request songs and tutorial videos. So for instance, if you've watched my Ninja Gaiden Farewell video, you will see that that song is comprised of 4 parts. This tutorial is only going to cover one part, the piano part. But if you hop over to my Patreon page and become a 64-bit Grandmaster, you can then request any of the other parts that you would like to learn, and I will create a tutorial for that specific part. Or if there's a video game song that you really love and you'd like to be able to play it, you can make those requests as well, and I will transcribe and produce a video and subsequent tutorials for that requested song. Again, thanks for tuning in, and now that we're past the infomercial, let's get into today's tutorial.
Alright, so tutorial time. So first, let me be clear that I am not a professional musician. I'm not a certified music instructor or classically trained such and such, okay? I'm just a guy who has loved video games and their music from my youth, and I just can't help but play the songs in my spare time. I'm a firm believer that the key to really enjoying music is playing the music that you really love to hear. I believe classical music and classical training has its place, but nothing will motivate you to practice as much as playing songs that you really love to hear, songs that truly move you. Okay, so I guess that was infomercial part 2. Now let's get to the actual tutorial. So basically, this part of the song, the piano part, is comprised of 8 parts. Each of those 8 parts are played in the same fashion, and each of those 8 parts are comprised of 8 notes each. All right, that's going to make more sense as we actually get into it. You'll simply need to relocate your left hand to the starting position on the next part once you finish the part you're currently on. This, of course, will make more sense in a second. Now, you'll also notice from my original video that I only play the left hand part in the video. If you're very proficient in piano, I'm pretty sure you could learn the lead part, the part that I play on guitar, with your right hand and play it along with your left hand. I opted to play the piano part with my left hand and the guitar for my right hand because I felt like the guitar sounded better for that lead part. But hey, do you, if you're a pianist and you really just prefer the sound of the piano, or if you don't play guitar, obviously you can take what I'm about to show you for the left hand part and then add the right hand part and play the whole song just on the piano. All right, so let's get into these 8 parts. All right, so basically the way this song works, you're going to play what's called an octave on each of these parts. So the lowest note, or the deepest note, you'll play with your pinky, and then the highest note, or the highest pitch note, you'll play with your thumb, which is the same note as the first note, just 1 octave higher. So for instance, the very first part is a G sharp, and then the third note of the 4 is also G sharp. Okay, so that's a good place to start in terms of practicing. If you're an absolute beginner, this stretch may seem difficult at first, so that's a good thing to practice. Just the G sharp to the G sharp. Okay. The second note of the first piece is a D sharp. So right in between the 2 G sharps, you have this D sharp. Okay. The 4th note is the second note repeated. Okay. So it's just 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then it repeats. Okay. That's the first part. So it's 4 notes repeated twice for a total of 8 notes for the first part. Then we get to the second part, it's pretty much played the exact same way. We're just going to switch and move from beginning on G sharp. We're going to move to the E note. Again, we have this octave. And in between the E's, we have the B note, which is this note. Okay, that's the second part. So first part is G sharp. Second part is E. Third part, we're going to jump up to F sharp. So we've got this octave with a C sharp in the middle. Alright, so first part, second part, third part. Alright, first part we're going to drop all the way down to the B note. Again, we have this octave. Now this one is a little different because we've got our octave on the white keys, but then our middle note is on the sharp, the F sharp. So that one's a bit of a triangle rather than a straight line. Alright, fifth part is C sharp with a G sharp in the middle. Okay, now we're going to go all the way back to the very first part, back to the G sharp. Seventh part is a D sharp. So that octave with an A sharp in the middle. And then we're going to go back again to the G sharp. Alright, so that's the 8 parts. You have a G sharp, E, F sharp, B, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, G sharp. Alright. Now, one thing I will note that's a little odd, it's going to take some getting used to. The fifth part, which is the C sharp, it ends on G sharp, which is the note that the next part starts on. So it's a kind of a weird transition, a fumbling of the fingers, because you end on this note, but then you have to start again on that note. So that's something you'll have to kind of look out for when you practice. That's switching from this finger to this finger. That finger has to kind of take its place. You can't really start the next part on this finger, because then you're going to be fumbling trying to get your fingers back in the right position. So what I recommend, just economy of motion, is to go ahead and move your pinky from this note to this note before you try to go to the next part. And that's pretty much it. That's all the notes, the parts of the progression. The only thing that's a little different is at the very end, instead of the 8th part being the, once you get to the 7th part in the track, it jumps to just G sharp and G sharp down to the next down lower deeper octave, and that's how the song finishes, those two notes together. Alright, but other than that, that's it. That's the whole song. Again, guys, patreon.com/VGBoombox. If you want to learn another part, feel free to become a 64-bit grandmaster. You can put in your requests. Even if you want to learn the drum part, I've got no problem doing the drum lesson. Piano part, guitar part, bass guitar part. Hey, I like to play. I like to teach. So, let me know what you want to see. If there's a song that you don't see featured on the channel that you really love that you want to see featured, put in those requests, and we'll get it up for you guys. All right, thanks again for dropping by, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.